Tesla hit a monthly high close today. When was the last time the market went down and Tesla was at a 30-day closing high? 2 months ago. Then before that, from the January break, it happened right here in March. Other than that, it really has not happened. Second question you have to ask yourself, how many times has the NASDAQ taken out new lows with Tesla above the 50-day? Answer to the question is 0. You can literally go back and take a look at it. We're going to get into the indexes, so stay to the end. There's a ton to go over today, and we're going to pack it all in so it's worth everybody's time. Subscribe to the channel, click all notifications, smash the like button because it helps me and supports the channel to put out more content. Thank you. Now, Tesla, we went through this in the top 10 on Saturday. I will link that top 10 at the end of this video. We're waiting to see this level and make sure you push. You're doing everything right here. So this is actually one we did in the trading community today. As soon as it got over, we pulled the trigger. We actually had an outstanding call position on it and actually added to the call position today. It's acting exceptionally good. What you're seeing is you're seeing them rally and then pull back. Now, we're seeing this over and over again, right? You come down, sky is falling. I need to get out. My hopes and dreams are smashed. What happens the next day? That is not retail. Right? Retail cannot move a stock that is a $1 trillion company like that. Okay, retail cannot move Tesla $10. Period. Right? Forms a little flag, breaks out, gets to the high, scares everybody, forms a cup. Okay. Seeing this over and over again. Breakouts that lead to pullbacks. Almost every breakout is leading to a pullback. Okay, that does not mean you get out of the position. It means you trim into the strength, right, and then maybe reset your stop somewhere else. But don't be buying up here, and certainly when you start turning, right, that's when you want to start looking. And these pullbacks, watch them. It's happening over and over again on several stocks. I mean, we went over it ad nauseum where it's stop hunting. It's a real thing. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's very real and it's happening. So keep that in mind. There are algorithms and high frequency traders during low volume days that are just out there to take your stock away from you. So I know it's not nice, but it happens. Now, you see how you just broke out? Look at that close. I mean, you have not closed at this level on Tesla. I'm spending a lot of time on Tesla for a reason. See right here, this particular area? Look, wick city, wick. We know wicks are price rejection. Tried to flip that level, formed a bear flag, tried to get above it, couldn't get above it. Look where you are right now. Okay, you're at a key level. You're going to want to watch this 308 like a hawk. So just be really very cognizant of this area, and it really forms exactly what we're seeing, right? We're seeing certain names continue to outperform. Another one that we gave on Saturday, and I would still suggest that this is on everybody's list. We flipped right here at this 151.37. Now, when we flipped that level, it gave a signal. Some people did this in the trading room. I wanted to just kind of hold off. But once this broke through and you saw your levels, I mean, this became increasingly clear what was going to happen. And you could just see how you broke out here. That was it. Flip the wick. We know these long red nasty bars are what? Price rejection. So you want to watch that. You flip it. So now you can see how it broke out here, how it pushed, flag, and then just keeps on pushing. Could you see 157 tomorrow? Yeah, you could. You absolutely could. Apple is the single largest short position. It actually surpassed Tesla, which is just absolutely silly. And we talked about this the other day. We're seeing a lot of this, and we're going to talk about this in a moment. Everybody that's on Twitter or in social media is showing this pattern and calling it a bearish engulfing. It is, but it has to confirm. In order for a bearish engulfing position to actually confirm, you have to get below that level. You never did. So all you really had here was just a great setup, and you just see that reversal, and it just took off. Now, I think you're still better off playing the stock than options. Options hardly moved today. They moved a little bit. We were looking, I think, at the 155s. They started at like 140. Maybe they went up like 70 cents, but it wasn't like a killing. So you're probably better off playing the stock. It seems to be getting more out of it, in my opinion, anyway. If you see these kinds of moves where your low is what? The open, and your high is what? The close, you need to watch that stock the next day. It's very, very important. You also notice the theme here. What are we looking at? Large cap names. Focus on very large cap names. This was someone else's idea in the trading room. It was not mine, but it was beautiful. So you can see this level right here. All you have to do is get above that 81. You popped over that 81. Your next level to watch was that 83. You're over. Now, you are going to have some resistance here, but one of the things that we look for all the time is relative volume. So you can see that you're spiked well over 5 million shares. Your relative volume on a spike like that is over 5 times. If you think this isn't going to hit everyone's scanner tonight when they run their high volume, relative volume scanners and not be on everyone's list tomorrow, you're wrong. So you want to watch it, see if it flips, and then how it gets when it gets to that 91 level. Okay, that's what you're trying to do. And then you figure out what you're going to do when it gets to there. But overall, I would not be surprised to see this have another day. Nvidia was another one that was in the top 10 that we went over very briefly. Again, I'll link that at the end. This is pretty clear. And this is really important to do, and I'm going to show you this at the end. I'm just going to show you a really quick tip at the end of this video, so stay to the end. I'll do it after the indexes. But you see where Nvidia is? You see how you have an anchored VWAP? Yes, you want to have anchored VWAP. The issue with it is if you draw anchored VWAPs everywhere and then say, see it held, it's just confirmation bias. It needs to be an actual spot. Here's your spot. Look what happened once it flipped. That was it. It was game on. Resistance becomes what? Resistance, 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 support. Comes back, back test, support. That's it. It's now support. So if you're long, this becomes your stop, right? And you can see how we're acting here. I just want to point something out. You are above the 3-day, you are pulling above the 5-day, and you are heading towards the 8. This is not the sign of a stock that is coming down. It is possible that semis are tired. Does that mean we're heading for the next great bull run? No. Does it mean it could get to 150 before the Fed meeting or after the Fed meeting? Yes. Yes, it can. CEG is one that people have been trading around in the trading room for some time. I think it's very telling when you have an energy company that is breaking out as oil and natural gas is plummeting. Keep that in mind. That's definitely something that I would be aware of, okay? So see if you make this higher high tomorrow. If you look at the weekly, you have nothing but blue skies above. There's nothing there. There's zero reason for this not to push. Now, in regards to the corresponding indexes, SPY, now we took out a higher high and we filled the gap. You're not back over 390. I'm not telling you to get all excited. What I am telling you is that you filled the gap. So this break, this H breakdown that's right here, all of a sudden you're right against that. Flip that tomorrow and you could see us push. Take a look at this with where the 5-day is. And all of a sudden you're starting to get a different story by tomorrow, right? Because now, even if you're down here, 3 days are going to be under this 388, which is going to get the 5-day to start pointing down and start making this more attractive going into the Fed meeting. We really don't know how that's going to go. On the probability side, we are looking at a 75 basis point hike, but we just don't know yet. Now, here's exactly what I'm talking about. So here is your bearish engulfing everybody's looking at. Okay, here's your low. Okay, you do not take out a new low and then you reverse. Meanwhile, everyone is assuming that it's a bearish engulfing, so you're going to break. It didn't break. So I'm not saying that it can't break. What I'm saying is it didn't break yet. So keep that in mind. Now, Q's, same exact scenario, right? Right up top, everyone's waiting for it to break. Bear flag, megaphone, we're all waiting for it to break. It didn't break. So as much as negativity is out there for these, they did not break. So I think that's really pertinent. Now, I just wanted to point this quick tip out to people. It'll save you an inordinate amount of time, especially if you're looking at anchored VWAP. When you see two lines converge at the same time, you want to watch that level like a hawk. So if you are playing around with anchored VWAP and you find a spot where two lines converge, you want to watch the action and watch exactly what happened there. So you have an anchored VWAP right here from the top, and you have an anchored VWAP from the low. So we have a previous high anchored VWAP from the March spike, and then we have an anchored VWAP from the low of the year. They both converged at the same exact number. The fact that you decided to close over that is extremely telling. So it's not so much a pinch as a convergence. Keep that in mind. Any questions, as always, reach out. If you are interested in the trading room, it's going to open probably towards the end of this week. To preview it, there will be a link up here in the top right corner. Everybody have a great evening. Trade to win tomorrow.